If you want bigger, stronger, more defined biceps, choosing the right exercises matters. You can curl all day, but if you're not picking movements that hit the muscle properly and progressing them over time, you're leaving serious gains on the table. Today, I'm breaking down the most effective and the most overrated biceps exercises using the latest muscle science, biomechanics, and practical gym experience. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which movements to include in your arm workouts for maximum size, shape, and strength, and which ones you can skip. Let's get started. First, a quick refresher. Your biceps have two main heads, the short head, inside of the arm, and the long head, outside of the arm, which creates that signature biceps peak. Underneath sits the brachialis, a thick muscle that pushes the biceps up, adding height to your arm even if your genetics limit peak shape. To grow impressive arms, you need exercises that challenge all three. And here's what we know from biomechanics. The biceps are most activated when you flex your elbow and supinate your wrist, turn your palm upward. They also cross the shoulder joint, so exercises that stretch the arm behind the torso challenge them in the lengthened position, a powerful stimulus for growth. Let's break down some popular moves. First, the classic barbell curl. It's iconic, but let's be honest, the tension isn't perfect. Most of the load hits when the elbow is at 90 degrees. At the bottom, where the biceps are stretched, and at the top, near the shoulder, the tension drops off. It's still useful for adding weight and building strength, but it's not optimal for pure hypertrophy, and many lifters experience wrist strain with a straight bar. Verdict? Solid, but not exceptional. If you swap in the easy bar curl, you reduce wrist stress thanks to the angled grip, but you slightly reduce supination, shifting some work onto the brachialis. I personally like the easy bar curl for heavy sets in the 6 to 8 rep range because it's easy to overload safely. It's not the king of curls, but it's definitely worth having in your rotation. Now, the standing dumbbell curl. Like the barbell version, it's convenient and simple, but again, minimal tension at the bottom. If you alternate arms, you also give each bicep too much rest between reps, but when done together, it's a reliable classic. Want to upgrade it? Switch to the dumbbell preacher curl. By bracing your arms on an angled bench, you eliminate cheating, lock in form, and force your biceps to handle the full load. Research shows that preacher curls are especially effective at driving growth near the elbow, where a lot of people want more thickness. For me, this is an absolute top-tier movement. Now let's talk about incline dumbbell curls. These stretch your arms behind your body, targeting the long head of the biceps in a lengthened position. That sounds great, but interestingly, newer studies show they're slightly less effective than preacher curls, likely because there's less tension at the bottom despite the deep stretch. Still, they're a useful variation to sprinkle into your routine. Lying dumbbell curls, an even more extreme stretch variation, deliver huge lengthening but can feel awkward, especially if you have shoulder issues. They're worth experimenting with, but they're not essential. What about machine curls? Machine preacher curls give you the same locked-in advantage as dumbbell preacher curls, but offer a smoother, more controlled resistance profile. If you emphasize the bottom half of the motion, you can maximize stretch tension and drive more growth. I highly recommend including these weekly. Some exercises, honestly, aren't worth your time. Waiter curls, where you hold a plate upright, are awkward, limit load, and strain your wrists. Skip them. Spider curls, with your arms hanging forward, overemphasize the shortened position, missing out on the more anabolic stretch position. Drag curls, where you pull your elbows backward as you curl, change the joint mechanics, and may not be as effective for overall biceps development compared to standard curls. Let's talk cables. The basic standing cable curl gives smooth, constant tension, great for hypertrophy, but doesn't stretch the biceps much. Flip around, face away from the cable, and do Bayesian cable curls. Now you're talking. These pull your arms behind your torso, lengthen the biceps, and keep tension high throughout the entire range of motion. For pure hypertrophy, they're one of the best cable variations out there. There's also an interesting angled Bayesian variation that maximizes stretch tension even more by adjusting the arm cable angle. It's a newer approach, but it's worth exploring if you want to push your biceps development further. Don't forget about hammer curls. By using a neutral grip, you shift more tension onto the brachialis, building arm thickness and indirectly boosting biceps peak appearance. I love these as a complement to supinated biceps curls. To make them even better, do them on a preacher bench to improve the resistance profile. That combination is dynamite. Finally, chin-ups. Yes, chin-ups work your back, but they also hit your biceps hard, especially if you focus on strict, controlled reps. While they won't isolate the biceps as much as curls, they're an excellent compound movement to include, especially for beginners. So, what's the best exercise? If I had to crown one, it's the Bayesian cable curl. Unmatched stretch, constant tension, and easy progression. For the best peak development, combine combine hammer curls with preacher curls to hit both the biceps and brachialis effectively. And the worst exercise? Waiter curls. Too gimmicky, not enough overload potential, and awkward to perform. Here's the bottom line. Building bigger biceps isn't about doing every exercise you see on Instagram. It's about selecting movements with the best biomechanics, consistently progressing your weights or reps, and training close to failure with good form. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more science-backed training videos and expert advice to help you build the physique you want. Drop a comment below. I'm ready for bigger arms if you're adding these exercises to your next workout. Train smart, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.